Hello, welcome back to the channel Tarot Yogi. I'm Vinit. I read tarot intuitively, and today we have another timeless pick a card reading on how do people view you based on your physical appearance. So we have three piles to choose from. Pile number one, we have Belladonna. Pile number two, we have Mandrake. And pile number three, we have the Moonflower. So take a minute, see what pile is being called to you intuitively. The description box below will have the timestamp for your pile. And again, remember, these are general readings, so please take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you like my style of reading, please like this video, share, subscribe, comment. It means a lot. It helps the channel grow. And if you want to reach out for a private reading, you can definitely do that. My email ID and my Instagram handle are given in the description box below, so you can definitely reach out for a private reading, and I will see you guys in your reading. Thank you. Hello, pile number one. If you chose the Belladonna card, this is your reading on how do people view you based on your physical appearance. Okay, pile number one, we have Four of Swords, we have Six of Cups, Eight of Swords, we have the Emperor, Justice, we have Two of Swords, Magician, King of Cups, and we have the Fool. And this is a very powerful spread. And first thing I want to say right away is, just based on your physical appearance, people can tell you have a very intense lore about you, if that makes sense. You definitely have this very deep, dark, for some even maybe a checkered past, and it sort of adds to how cool you come off to people right away at like the first glance. That's what I'm getting right away. And we have the Belladonna card, and it's Belladonna quite literally means the beautiful lady. So you could very much be a beautiful lady over here, or a lady boy, we accept everyone over here. So wherever you fall on the spectrum, you definitely have a very matured, feminine gracefulness to you that you carry yourself with, even if you're very young. You definitely carry yourself with a sense of nobility, I feel. And Belladonna is a very interesting plant, as Italians back in the day, the women would dilate their eyes with Belladonna drops. So there's something very siren-like about your eyes. You definitely have very beautiful, maybe almond-like eyes, siren-like eyes, doe eyes, but whatever kind of eyes you have, they definitely hold all this lore that you have about yourself. So right away on the first glance, you come off as very striking. Not just very striking, but also people would remember you. People would remember your name or your face. So there's something that really registers deep within people when they just view you based on your physical appearance, right? And I do feel you have layers to you. I think who you are at your core is a childlike, jovial fairy, I would say. And I think you carry this innocence with you no matter how old you will be or how old you are. You will always carry this young heart with you, and that is going to also be like your secret to looking youthful. So you definitely don't look your age. You definitely look younger, again, wherever you fall on the age spectrum. You have a very serene vibe about you. People pick that up right away. People can tell you either are into magic, meditation, witchcraft. We do have Tower of the Witch's Garden, right? So you definitely do give off this little witchy and intimidating vibe. Or you could even be a sorcerer over here, right? So you definitely have this sort of magical, elusive vibe to you, if that makes sense. Pile number one. Pile number one, you could also be my kind of people who just zone out or daydream a lot. So a lot of people maybe look at you when you zone out and daydream, and people do wonder maybe what's going on through your mind. It almost seems at times that you're very stuck in your mind. So there's definitely something going on beneath those very beautiful eyes, and people can tell that. People can sense how deep, people can really sense the depth through your eyes. So people wouldn't mess around with you easily, especially now more than ever. Because despite you having this very childlike wonder, this elusive fairy-like quality to you, which you definitely have, you have reached a level of mastery where you're so balanced within that, with your emperor-like state. So a lot of y'all could even be very visible over here. A lot of y'all could be in the public eye, or even if you're not, even if you just work in a building, people can tell that you do command something higher than yourself. Even if it is in like a workspace, people respect you. People know not to mess with you. And I'm not saying you don't have haters. Obviously, we all have haters, but they know, everyone can tell it's the jealousy, because you maybe embody things so easily and effortlessly that people really struggle with at a very personal level. So there is this sense of freedom that people feel when they look at you. So a lot of people also do want you to win. And like I said, you do have a sense of authority to you. People can definitely tell that. And it's very interesting. We have Justice and we have Two of Swords, and Two of Swords is Moon in Libra. So like I said, you can be very indecisive when you maybe have the time to be, but you still find the best outcome for yourself no matter what the situation is over here. And you definitely have this ability to create everything out of nothing, pile number one. And like I said, people can tell that maybe things were not always as great for you as they're maybe right now, or they will be. So there is this very intense load to you, I would say. And maybe a lot of y'all could even have had like maybe a very humiliating, embarrassing public breakup, divorce, whatever is that. And you have definitely transformed after that. I do feel, whoever that resonates to in this pile, but people can even see that you have reached a level of emotional maturity. You conduct yourself very differently, and just because you can keep your calm when you are accused of doing something that you haven't done, which I do think has happened a lot with you. I think people have really tried to make you the scapegoat, but it always works out in your favor. And people can even see that, especially people who know you over here. I do feel maybe there are a lot of people, even from your past, that maybe check your social media, maybe do want to reach out to you, but they don't know how to. So you definitely have this very intimidating presence about you. And even on the Belladonna card, we do have Atropos, and she's basically holding a scythe in one hand. So when you cut people out, it is a forever thing. You do not look back, even if other people look back, because you have this sense of surety to who you are, pile number one. And you always, like I said, you always come out winning on top, even if things are against you. And I would say that is pretty much a superpower that you have over here. And I do feel, and I know we're maybe going a little beyond just how people view you on your physical appearance, but I do feel there are a lot of elemental spirits, especially the Fae and elemental spirits, that really want to work with you. So if you are on the path of magic, I think you really need to go a little intense with your practices and your studies, because once you walk the path, things will be given to you. You will also get the aid you need. So that might be a specific message here for someone. So there's also a real need to make sure you're constantly pushing yourself forward, because there is this energy of you keeping yourself stuck. Remember, pile number one, no one can keep you stuck in any situation but yourself. So please remember this. Whenever you feel indecisive, or whenever you feel you are in a situation that you don't want to be in, there is always a way out. Yeah. So that's just something I channeled over here. But how people view you based on your physical appearance, I would say you are like sour candy. There's something sweet and there's something spicy about you. And people can tell that. People can also tell right away that you are very seasoned also through life. You have really gained your wisdom, and you do have this very priest-like energy to you. So there's definitely a lot of magical energy in this file. Yeah. But there's a real emphasis for you to maybe really, really trust in your magic and know that for a lot of y'all, you might even be called to make it a career. Whatever it is, you could be a healer, magician, whatever you do, tarot reading, astrology, there is something you will be called to do very, very soon or already. And if you're already doing it, don't stop now. And just make sure you're keeping up the momentum. I think that's the most important message over here. Yeah, so that must be very important for someone to hear since I'm channeling that. But definitely something about your eyes, coming back to your eyes. Because again, my eyes are going on to the cat's green eyes. So even something about maybe the color of your eyes, maybe they change. Maybe it looks different in sunlight. So people take notice of that, definitely. I think if someone looked at you, the first thing they would maybe notice is your eyes. That's how striking your eyes are, by number one. Yeah. It's interesting, right? Even with the belladonna, with the dilation, and how even effortless beauty is never effortless. So people also really enjoy maybe the way you dress, maybe the way you put yourself together, your makeup, your nails, whatever you do. People really enjoy your aesthetics, your personal aesthetics, I would say. And I would say pile number one, you might even have people who may even copy your looks, but it's just not gonna look the same on them. Because it's not so much about what you're wearing, but it's your energy, right? So people view you in this very cool light. People view you as very cool, calm, and collected, even though you could definitely have a dark side. So that intrigues people about you, pile number one, definitely. Shuffle some oracle. Okay, pile number one, we have Humpback Whale, which reads Singer. Sing healing songs for the world. Your inner navigation always guides you. Nothing can stop you or keep you from your goal. Align with your purpose and the power in your soul. Isn't this just what I said about how no one can keep you stuck but yourself? And you do have this very advanced inner sonar, I would say, that you progress. And like I said, you always land on your feet over here. And it's again very interesting. We have the Tree of Life. So it makes sense why I've been just randomly channeling spiritual messages in this rather shallow reading. So understand that you're not going crazy. For a lot of your gifts are increasing, and let me tell you, it can be a very intense, scary feeling because you might not even have a lot of people to maybe talk to about your psychic upgrades, but maybe write things down for yourself so you can maybe look back to it. But understand that even if you're very alone right now, pile number one, you have so much help on the other side to help you ascend. And again, the spiritual usage of belladonna is in the spiritual world, it helps you open up sideways. And it's very interesting, right? We do have the Tree of Life. So there is something about you not just moving up and down the Tree of Life, but also moving sideways. And by that, what I mean is, I think the key for your soul's purpose in this lifetime is about maintaining dynamic balance. And by that, what I mean is balancing yourself 1 minute, which might look very different than balancing yourself the next. So there's a real emphasis over here on your words, what you will write, what you have to share. And that is also linked to your gifts and your spiritual ascension. Yeah. I know, again, this might really be an important message for someone. So only take it if it resonates, right? But yeah, again, my eyes are going on the I card and the Tree of Life card. So, and again, the moon. So you do have very moon-like eyes. You could have very reflective eyes. And like I said, people can sense how deep you are. Even if they don't always meet you at your level, they know to tread lightly. So I do feel you might have a lot of secret admirers, and please stop in the comments. A lot of y'all are like, I don't have any secret admirers. You do. You do. And the whole point is you don't know them, they're secret admirers, right? Logic. So understand that you walking your path as an individual, the light that you carry with yourself is illuminating so many people by just them looking at you. So you need to stop hiding if you are hiding like the moon. You need to be more in your sun energy. And like I said, it makes sense what I was saying 2 minutes back about how it's about you balancing yourself in the middle pillar and not getting yourself on the extremes of this or that, and really embodying that sense of moderation. And I think obviously at a superficial level, this will obviously make you hotter. This will obviously make you very magnetic, more attractive, all those things. But what it is also a deeper root cause of what is also happening at the higher realms is you are ascending, and you will ascend in this lifetime in a very worldly sense, not just in the world, but also on the spiritual ladder. So a lot of y'all might have some very, very interesting life purposes in this pile, definitely. Yeah. I know this reading was all over the place, but I do feel maybe you have a lot of people looking at you. But again, maybe perhaps you are in a bubble, so a lot of things that people even energetically push towards you, it just reflects back. So just know that you're very, very protected, pile number 1. Yeah. Any other messages? Yeah, that's all I have for my pile number 1s. Again, it's a general reading, so please take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you like my style of reading, please like this video, share, subscribe, comment. It means a lot. It helps the channel grow. And if you want to reach out for a private reading, you can definitely do that. My email ID and my Instagram handle are given in the description box below. So you can definitely reach out for a private reading. And I will see you guys in the next reading. Thank you. Hello, pile number 2. If you chose the Mandrake card, this is your reading on how do people view you based on your physical appearance. Okay, pile number 2, we have the Mandrake card. We have King of Wands, 5 of Swords, 2 of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, 10 of Wands, Queen of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, Lady of Coins, and we have Knight of Staves. And there's a lot of fire over here. So how people view you based on your physical appearance, you're very, very hot. So you're very conventionally good looking. You definitely fall more on the classically beautiful side, if that makes sense. You could, if you're a man, you could very much have the perfect gym body, or if you're a woman, you're perfectly voluptuous. So there's a real emphasis on your body over here, and there's also an emphasis of a sense of voyeurism over here, to be very honest. That's what I'm really sensing. People like to watch you. So you could, like I said, you could be a gym trainer, you could be a yoga teacher, or whatever you do this, you do have a lot of eyes on you, pile number 2. And again, we speak about energy over here, not gender. We do have King of Wands and we do have the Mandrake card. So you are a natural born leader and you exude that leader-like magnetic quality. So people will be drawn to you like honeys to bee, right? Like bees to honey, right? So I do feel maybe people even get a little dumbfounded when they speak to you. So you might notice that maybe people don't communicate clearly to you, or people might even be extra rude to you. And I think they're trying to repress the fact that they're so attracted to you, but they're not supposed to be. So, you know, shame, guilt, all that nonsense. So that plays into the role. So this could even be people around you, maybe people that you work with, that for whatever reason are not supposed to find you hot. So I do feel that there is a lot of this sneaky looking over the shoulder to see what you're doing energy, or just maybe even a lot of people might stalk your Instagram, so you do have a lot of eyes on you, and you do have a very joyous heart over here, I would say, and it reflects that. Just the joyousness reflects in the things you do, and you do have great wisdom about you. You are like a teacher to people, so I definitely feel a lot of people look up to you. You could even be a tarot reader over here, but even if you're not a tarot reader, you do have that wisdom, sage-like energy to you, where you just know maybe the right things to say to your friends without even thinking, right? You're just able to channel information to people. So that is also a gift. And when people look at you physically, what they also feel right away is you are very blessed, you're very abundant. Even if you don't feel that way, people at least view you that way. People view you to be very physically well-to-do, very just a wholesome vibe, basically. And I don't feel that is always the case, because we do have 10 of Wands in the reading, so things are not what they seem in your world, right? By number 2. And maybe you are holding on to a lot of burdens that you don't need to hold on to anymore, and there's a real need for you to let go of things that you're really holding on to, which is keeping you stuck. So you're definitely carrying other people's burdens, or you could even be carrying your own burdens that you need to lay to rest right now, pile number 2. And I feel this is maybe slowing you down. I think this is also clouding your discernment, because you are very discerning usually, but I don't think you feel like yourself. But understand that this is the next level of the test. And fit it to your situation. For you, it might be other people. For a lot of y'all, it might just be yourself. But understand that the more you let go of something, the easier it'll be for you to move forward. So what is it that you're holding on to, pile number 2, that is keeping you stuck? I feel that's a very important question over here. And again, it's a general reading, so it might not resonate, but definitely take that if it resonates. So, which I do feel it might for a lot of y'all. But coming back to the reading, and I know a lot of y'all are like, you're always calling us out, Vinit, but that's my job. And that's why I'm even trying to do like lighter readings. So, but the truth is going to come out regardless, right? So, yeah. Anyway, coming back to the reading. Yeah, like I said, abundance. It's not just abundance. People might even feel that you're extremely lucky. We do have the Wheel of Fortune. And I think your own personal formula of happiness is something you have derived from your own trials and errors, from all this wisdom, inner soul-seeking stuff that you have done. It really reflects in what you do. And there's a real emphasis over here on what you do. So maybe your work is very close to your identity over here, or it's going to be. So much so that you will get lost in what you're doing, pile number 2. And I think that's when people find you to be the hottest. I really feel that, because we do have all this fire in this reading, right? So people might even see you to be like a heartbreaker or whatever, just because out of projection, right? So I also feel you do this work to keep yourself young at heart. I don't just feel you are young at heart. No one is just young at heart. We have to keep ourselves that way. And by that, what I mean is not being emotionally stunted when you do need to behave like a mature person, but I'm talking about just the innocence that you carry within yourself. And that refinement is something you have worked for, and it reflects in your behavior. Pile number 2, you might be the kind of people who like to do things instead of saying things. And what you do is also very impactful to people. And people can also maybe see that, people around you. And you're always seeking, you're always being ambitious about your own life, you're always expanding. So keep doing what you're doing, because you're honestly killing it, and you're not as shrewd as you can be, pile number 2. I think you understand that. You could be a little more shrewd about things, but you do still operate from this heart space, which I think even might be detrimental to you, especially when you have people around you who exploit that, right? So maybe there's a real need for you to maybe there's a real need for you to make a list and see the people that maybe don't need to be in your life anymore, I would say. Shuffle some oracle. Okay, pile number 2, we have the grizzly bear, bedfellows, and deliverance. And it's very clear what is happening over here. And I do feel this is a side message, again, hijacking this reading. But there's a real need for you to, like I said, you need to really take account of who is in your life and who can leave your life right now. And I do feel that this is other people, since we got the bedfellows card. So maybe this is a relationship that is not working out. Maybe this could be a friendship. Maybe this is your brother, your sister, your family, whatever it is. There are certain people that you're dealing with that you might feel that they have your best interest at their heart, but that is not the case. They would throw you under the bus the first chance they would get. So be mindful of this. There is a sense of caution over here. And I don't mean to scare you, because your intuition already knows. You're showing up here as a grizzly bear. And grizzly bears are very, very psychic and very powerful bears, right? And we also have the deliverance card. So know that you are experiencing a test and you will come out winning, even if you might have to burn your past down. Just the way in the deliverance card, just behind him, it's all fire. But he is holding the baby. So know that you might have to burn down things in order to create a sense of renewal for yourself. So don't ever for a minute feel you're stuck. And if there's resistance, you will win. There's a real understanding over here of that. And I barely spoke about the mandrake card, but mandrake is the least harmful of the baneful herbs. It's the least poisonous, and it does become a great guide and teacher to magical practitioners. So you don't need external guidance. Pile number 2, that's what I'm really trying to get over here. You have an inner compass that is always going to point you in the direction you need to be in. So what you need to do is maybe get still enough so you can listen to it. There's a real emphasis of that over here. And I know this is, again, like I said, it's a side message, but it is really important that you do, because things are not what they seem. And isn't that what I said in the beginning of this reading? So be very aware. And like I said, you are protected. You will come out of this winning if that is the case, but there's a real need for you to be careful about the actions you take right now. And don't take your actions based on what you see, because like I said, things are not what they seem. So yeah, coming back to the reading on how people view you based on your physical appearance, people can maybe sense that there is, like I said, things around you that might even seem too perfect at times, and like we have discovered, it might not always be the case, right? So understand that you will always have this allure to you, because you do have a sense of mystery to you, and this mystery keeps people hooked. So I do feel people are even a little obsessive over you, pile number 2. So understand the kind of energy you carry with yourself, and understand that if you're not being valued, you can remove yourself from that situation. And maybe people can even see that. People can see that you're being too kind when you don't need to be. So something about your boundaries over here. And I'm not calling you out, I'm just being your friend. Pile number 2. Yeah. Any other messages? I would say that things will change for the better, but you will have to burn things down first, if that makes sense. And sometimes you cannot have a cordial departure. Sometimes it has to be a showdown. So don't back down if it comes down to fighting. Pile number 2. Yeah. I guess that was your reading on how people view you based on your physical appearance. Yeah. Any other messages? Yeah, that's all I have for pile number 2. Again, it's a general reading, so please take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you like my style of reading, please like this video. Share, subscribe, comment. It means a lot. It helps the channel grow. And if you wanna reach out for a private reading, you can definitely do that. My email ID and my Instagram handle are given in the description box below, so you can definitely reach out for a private reading. And I will see you guys in the next reading. Thank you. Hello, pile number 3. If you chose the Moonflower card, this is your reading on how do people view you based on your physical appearance. Okay, pile number 3, we have the Moonflower card, we have the Magician, the Moon, 3 of Swords, Justice, we have the Wheel of Fortune, 10 of Swords, Temperance, 6 of Wands, and we have Knight of Coins. So we firstly have so much lunar energy here with the Moonflowers, and just below that we have the Moon card. So you do carry with you this divine, feminine, mysterious essence, and you do have this very lunar quality to you. You could definitely be my intuitives over here, my witches, my sorcerers. We have the Magician card. So people definitely notice your spirituality. For a lot of y'all, I would say, whether you're religious or spiritual, you might really wear that on your sleeve. Or even if you don't, even if you dress very simple, because it's a general reading, so it's going to be different for all of y'all. Even if you dress simple, people might still feel that there is something going on, you know. So I'm not saying you look suspicious to people, but people can sense your power, if that makes sense, because you do have a lot of power, and I do feel you have a very unconventional way of going about doing things, because we do have the Moonflower, and Moonflower is a Dhatura species, so it only blooms at night, and it blooms only once. What I understood was it blooms only once, and it blooms at night. So you have a very unconventional cycle about your life. You go about doing things naturally in a way where most people you wouldn't relate to. And a lot of y'all, I do feel this could be my pile of my night owls, because we do have a lot of this lunar energy. So you could be up at night, or a lot of y'all could even be astral projecting and dreaming over here. I do feel there is a lot of psychic energy in this reading, and we do have a purple deck, right, with the Moonflower card. So coming back to what I was saying about how moonflowers, they do bloom only once, and them blooming once is enough for the job of the flower to be done. It does exchange pollen and nectar, and it is not germinated and pollinated by bees. It is pollinated by moths. So I think people can see that you really follow your own heart. You really have your own path laid out for yourself, and you are doing something that not everyone else is doing. So this is something very apparent. So you could even dress very unconventionally. You could have tattoos, you could have piercings, you could have colored hair, all that. You could even have I did say tattoos, right? Yeah. So there's something maybe even about your tattoos over here. People might really like your tattoos. So there's something very distinctive about you in the way you look. And what you need to do, pile number 3, is you need to continue being yourself uniquely. You need to keep doing what you're doing, because not all flowers need to bloom when the sun is out. You know, some flowers like to bloom at night, and they have a different vibe to them, right? Moonflowers, yes, they're very toxic. So people know not to mess with you. People know not to come near you. So like I said, you do have this witchy side to you, maybe, so people know not to mess with you. But despite that, people see you as very, very alluring. You do have this very siren-like energy to you. It's almost like you're taunting people to, come and experience you, but they're also very intimidated, because they know they're not just dealing with just some regular person. Yeah, you'd be very much the opposite of the basic. Like I was saying, there's something very distinct about the way you look. And people can understand that you have come to this place with your own sort of a journey, and people might not always know what you have been through, but they can sometimes sense, and they really respect you. So people do look at you very positively, pile number 3. And I do feel your own terrible experiences have made you stronger, are still making you stronger. So understand that moderation for you is going to be key. And I didn't even want to say that, so I guess that was again a channeled message, because we do have justice and we have temperance. So balancing is going to be key for you. And what you need to know is your strategy to victory is going to be consistent, diligent, hard work, day in and day out. Don't burn yourself out. Work at a pace where you're not burning yourself out. Work at a pace where you can sustain yourself. Because we do have Knight of Coins, and okay, what I'm getting from this Knight of Coins card is people can maybe tell or sense that you do have a lot of things that are maybe going wrong in your life, but you still are so calm and composed about it. You're so chill about it, because you kind of know that you will get the better end of the stick. And I'm not saying that you're lazy about it, but you know when it's necessary to take action and when it's necessary to stop. So you have a very clear vision about things and about your situation, and people can tell how sorted you are just by looking at you physically. So even if you have a very alternative way of dressing, you do still come off in a very polished way. Your look is very polished, your aesthetic is very polished. So keep doing what you're doing, because you're definitely killing it. And you don't have to follow other people, and you don't have to, and I'm not saying you have to always go against the grain, but understand, pile number 3, that what you have to share, what you have to give, no one else can give. Hence, what you have to give is invaluable, and it has a lot of value, not just to you, but it will have a lot of value to other people. So you could very much have an impact on a lot of people over here if you're not already, pile number 3, which I do feel a lot of y'all are. And yeah, coming back to again how people would view you physically, people can tell that you're a heartbreaker. People can tell that you're very smart when it comes to making the right decisions for yourself. You know better, basically. You come off as very intelligent. Like no one would try to fool you, pile number 3, based on how you look. We'll take that as confirmation. Yeah. Shuffle Smark. Okay, pile number 3, we have the Mandrake and we have the Grotto. And we have the Moose card, which reads wisdom. Let your head and mind reach to the stars, yet keep your feet grounded on earth. Listen to the ancient wisdom in your soul, the ancestors speak through you, you know much. So maybe you might have some messages in pile number 2. It's interesting, right? Because we got Mandrake, and Mandrake was the pile selection for pile number 2. So you might have some messages in pile number 2. You might want to check that out. But coming back to this reading on how people view you based on your physical appearance, to sum it up, people really see that you are wise, you are very wise, and the wisdom hasn't come easy, and you do wear your battle scars very proudly. People can also tell that you perhaps prefer more isolation, you prefer being by yourself, you don't put yourself out there a lot. Even if you are in the public eye, people can see that you're very, very private about the things you do. And there is something reserved in your energy, pile number 3, and rightfully so, right? You would be reserved in the energy of like a high priest or a high priestess, right? So what I'm trying to say over here, pile number 3, is people feel a sense of distance between you and them. And I do feel that this is maybe a little intentional at your part, but there's nothing wrong in keeping that. So there's a real message over here for you to keep following your own inner dialogue, your own music, your own inner music, and know that you are paving the way, basically. You are doing what no one is doing. You are that one moonflower that blooms late at night, unlike all the other sunflowers. So keep being the moonflower that you are, pile number 3. Yeah. any other messages. Yeah, that's all I have for pile number 3s. Again, it's a general reading, so please take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you like my style of reading, please like this video, share, subscribe, comment. It means a lot. It helps the channel grow. And if you want to reach out for a private reading, you can definitely do that. My email ID and my Instagram handle are given in the description box below. So you can definitely reach out for a private reading, and I will see you guys in the next reading.